This is the Celebration.com review of the MWG Atom 5. Go ahead real quick and just take a look at the front of the device. You can see it's actually a very sleek unit. We have a 2.8-inch screen here. I'll just go ahead. Touch screen comes on there. Aside from the 2.8 screen, we also have 6 shortcut buttons. Here you can see we have one that's going to call history and contacts. Then we have your send button, your end button, a Windows Start key, which click right there and it can open and close the Windows Start button or Start menu as well. And then we have an OK key here for selection. Now here we have a D-pad that takes up a lot of the front of the phone realty at the bottom. This particular D-pad will allow you to push up and down, go between menus, as well as left and right. And then you can push in on the actual button to, there you go, to access screens. Let's go ahead and exit out of there with the N key. On the left of the device here, we have our camera quick launch button. The device itself features a 2-megapixel camera. You can see there, it does take a little bit of time for that camera actually to come up, and moves around okay there. The pictures are okay, a little bit of, not too much of an undertone or an overtone on the unit, which was very nice. It takes okay pictures. Video playback isn't the best, mainly because there's only 240 by 320 pixels of resolution, and it's a 65,000 color effective output on the device. Now, video support will support MPEG 4, 3G, and MWV, so there are a couple outputs on there. Looking at the rest of the device, you can see there's your power and standby button, so I can put the phone in standby. Take it back out of standby. You can see it actually opens up applications and puts the standby on and off pretty quickly, and that's largely based on the fact that the device offers a 520 megahertz Intel processor, so there is some speed there. One thing that will slow you down if you're using a lot of devices opened at once is the fact that there's only 64 megabytes on the device for the actual SRAM. But it does offer 256 megabytes of flash ROM that comes included. And on the side here, you can see that there is a micro SD HC card slot. So right now that's expandable up to 8 gigabytes. And then we have a volume rocker here. You see, I can go ahead and turn the volume up and down on the device. We'll exit out of there. Down on the bottom, we have our mini USB port, pretty standardized. Then we have a 2.5 millimeter jack here. Would have liked to see a 3.5 millimeter, but it does its job. Also, we have a stylus that comes with the device. It's just a pretty standard, cheap plastic stylus. Nothing real special about that part of the device. And it just slides right in the side there. I'm actually going to go ahead and leave it out for a moment here. Aside from that, you can see here that we do have a white LED flash with a 2-megapixel camera and a pretty good speaker on the side of the device itself. You can see here when we go through menus, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you the Wi-Fi function here. The Wi-Fi I currently have off. If you just tap on the Wi-Fi functionality there, you see where it says it is actually connecting to the Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi is now available. There you go. It's going to show my internet connection just like it does on other devices. And you go ahead and hit connect. It'll show connecting there again. And it takes, on average, about 5 to 10 seconds to connect to Wi-Fi. A little bit longer than I've seen on some other devices. But once connected, it works wonderfully. And there you go. You can see I'm now connected. One of the things that I really do like about this particular unit is the fact that aside from the Wi-Fi, it also offers assisted GPS, which obviously the merits of the assisted GPS, and also a Surf 3 GPS processor. I didn't have any problem whatsoever connecting to really to anything on the device. It connected very fast, both with the internet. There was a little bit of a lag, as you can see right now. It's locating MSN, but the GPS actually connected very fast, about 15 to 20 seconds when I was outdoors. I couldn't get an indoor connection though, which was one of my main issues. Going outside of here, you see that the device itself is actually pretty small in its dimensions as far as the width of it goes. It is a little bit taller of a device. It comes in at 116 millimeters in height by 59 millimeters in width. And it comes in at 14.95 millimeters in thickness, which is a little bit smaller than your average 15 millimeters. So that wasn't a bad feature on the device. One thing is it does come with Windows Mobile 6.0 Professional. I would have liked to see the 6.1, which is that newer device. But you can see it's actually a very sleek device. It has kind of a rubberized feel on the front and back of it. A nice thick touch screen on it, which is very protective. It's really not a fingerprint magnet. Even on the front of the device here, not a lot of fingerprints occur when I tap on the unit, which is another nice feature. It does feature a 1300 milliamp battery, but I can say that after about a day, you're going to want to go ahead and recharge the device because the battery does die pretty quickly, especially if you're using any of the internet capabilities. It does have WCDMA 2100 megahertz frequencies. Because it's not being offered in the U.S., they did need to offer U.S. 3G capabilities. It does have a quad band GSM, and it does have 3G up to 7.2 megabits per second in areas where it is actually allowed. I found the Edge network worked great here. Had no problem connecting, even in areas where Edge is sometimes a little bit iffy. The unit itself will come with the main battery. It comes with a universal AC adapter, a stereo headset, a mini USB cable, 2 styluses, the Getting Started CD, and it does have a 12-month warranty on the main unit and 6 months for the accessories, so that is offered with it as well. So overall, it's a great device. It offers great GPS capabilities, which are accessible. You can click here, go right to GPS tracking. It'll tell you that you're going to use more battery power. GPS does take up a little bit more of the battery power, which is fine, but you can see here just a real quick walkthrough of the GPS screen. I know it's a little hard to see. It's locating the status here. I'm indoors, so it's probably not going to find it. It shows how long the satellite time, total distance that you've went, the current speed you're going at. You can even add in, using these buttons down here, different landmarks that you want to keep track of. You can use that for tracking waypoints. You can use that for tracking actual landmarks if you want to get back to them at some point. So just another little feature on the device. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of there. So that's just a quick look at the MWG Atom 5. Again, it's not being offered in the U.S. They didn't get FCC approval for this particular device, but it is being offered throughout Europe, Asia, and pretty much the rest of the world. Again, 2 megapixel camera, micro SDHC card, a Surf 3 GPS processor that acts as a standalone GPS, and a 2.8-inch screen. So overall, it's a very nice device. I've been using it for about a week. Haven't run into any problems. Like I said, it can be a little slow if you're using multiple applications at the same time just because of the amount of memory, but it takes excellent pictures in macro mode. It's a suitable 2 megapixel camera for quick picture taking, but I wouldn't use it as your main camera. But overall, everything on the device from its own quick launch menu, which I didn't feature on here, but there is a Atom 5 quick menu that can be added with larger icons that you can basically move throughout the device a little bit more quickly. If you use that option, it's definitely a formidable device. I'd actually like that application because of its bare necessities, even a little bit more than the HTC's own home screen. So overall, a great device. If you're looking for something, you're in the European market, and you can get your hands on one. It will work over here on the AT&T network or T-Mobile, or on Rogers and Fidos in Canada. They're just not being offered in North America. So overall, that's a quick look at the MWG Atom 5. Thank you. And check out www.celubration.com for the full written review, which will be up in the next few days.